What's up, brochachos? It's your boy Tanner Wideman of BarbarianBody, and today I'm going to be telling you guys how you can fix being skinny fat. I've been getting so many questions about this. A lot of guys want to know, so let's jump straight into it. So being skinny fat, what is the cause of this? The main cause is it just comes down to lack of training and poor nutrition. The same way being just fat tends to happen. Now, as men, we tend to have all of our body fat pool around the waistline. That's just what happens. It happens for me, it happens for the top athletes in the world, it happens for the leanest guys in the world. They always notice it, whether it be the love handles, the hips, it's just belly fat just starts to appear there. That's the first place that you will tend to build fat and pool fat, and then that's actually going to be one of the last places that you're going to lose fat from as well. So when it comes to nutrition, typically the very first question anybody asks is, do I bulk or do I cut? What do I do first? And I say, don't do either of those. Leave those completely off the table. The only thing I'm going to recommend you do is simply clean up your diet. I know, so rudimentary, but what I want you to do is I want you to add in fruits and vegetables into your diet every single day. I'm going to give you an exact amount. Add in 2 cups of fruits and 2 cups of vegetables every single day for the next 2 to 6 weeks, and you're going to notice significant change. Now, the reason this is so effective is you're going to wind up filling up on all this low calorie foods. You're going to have a lot less room for all this high calorie dense foods, and that's going to be super effective because it's actually going to reduce your caloric intake. You're going to get a lot of micronutrients, which is going to allow your body to function a lot better, and you're not going to clog it up with all this junk crap that's going to end up making you fat. You can either have apples, pineapples, things like celery, cucumbers. I personally like to grab a Ziploc bag of half the bag I fill up with mini baby carrots, and then the other half I'll chop up like red peppers. And then for a snack, I like to have grapes and strawberries, so I might do a bag of that. I'm talking, those Ziploc sandwich bags. That's typically what I do when I'm adding the fruits and vegetables into my diet, and you actually feel good. You feel good. You'll notice you're filling up on all this stuff. You're not eating as much calorie dense food, which is typically junk, so that's also going to promote you feeling good as well. And then the body fat is just going to start to reduce, and that's the main thing here. Now, this is the most important step that you need to apply here. I want you to track your eating for a full week. Only 1 week. I'm not asking you to do this for 52 weeks of the year, 1 week. The reason I want you to do this is because most of the time, I've been in this position too, you go, oh man, I'm eating clean. I am eating really good. My diet is perfect. It's perfect. And then you record it all for a week and you look back at it and you go, holy hell, I've been eating terribly. And that's when you're gonna go, okay, I could substitute something like this. I could have my amount of that. That's when you're gonna get your veil lifted, your veil of blindness of how poor your diet probably is. Because I'll be honest, if you guys have the belly fat right there, there's a huge chance that your diet is not proper, whether it be from the amount of foods you're eating or from the beverages, okay? Whether they be frappo, lapo, lattes, or a high amount of alcohol or something like that. That's when you're really gonna notice that, and that's when you're gonna be more motivated, more inclined to actually make these changes, which is gonna jump us into our very next step. Now, in regards to what should you not eat, I am actually gonna tell you a few things that you guys should instantly have. Don't completely remove these things right now, just have your intake of them. Because if you remove it, you're gonna feel like you're on this crash diet, you're gonna feel like you're missing something, and then that's when you're gonna have all these sugar cravings and you're gonna be so hungry for this. Don't remove anything. I've never recommended that. Just have all of the bad stuff that you have right now, meaning cut the amount that you eat in half, and then go from there. So these things include pop, okay? Pops or sodas, carbonated drinks, all that stuff like Coca-Cola or Pepsi or things like that. Just have that for now. You'll get super high amounts of results on your midsection. You're gonna lose a ton of body fat. Restaurants such as a Starbucks or a Tim Hortons or a McDonald's or an Arby's, I know it sounds so basic, but there's a good chance you're going to that stuff right now, and I want you to try and have that. If you go 2 times per week, cut it into 1. If you only go once per week, I want you to have your order, okay? That's gonna actually be a significant amount of change. Everybody says to me, they always go, oh yeah, don't eat fast food, a huge tip, I already didn't know that. Apply it then. Apply it, come back to me, and then let me know how well it worked. Okay, junk food snacks. I want you to try and have the amount that you're eating ice cream and cookies and these granola bars, okay? These granola bars, a lot of people consider them to be healthy. There's granola in them, but it's covered in chocolate. Things like that. Or these Triscuit crackers, for the most part. Most of them are really calorie dense, things like that. Like buttered popcorn, things like that, really heavily buttered popcorn. I want you to take a look at the amount of calories per serving. If it's 200 to 300 calories and it's only this big, get rid of it, okay? These little Welch's fruit snack packs or those Delmont like little fruit cups and stuff. I know it seems healthy. I know a lot of us, it's pushed. It's marketed to be like something that is like sort of healthy, but it is totally not. So if you have the intake of these three things right there, you will notice superior amount of change, especially in combination with the double cup of fruits and then the double cup of vegetables as well. Monstrous change will be the results of this. Now here's a huge one, and this is not just what you're eating, but how you're eating it. I've noticed this whenever I'm tending to gain a lot of weight, I pay attention to how I'm eating. And it typically goes like this, like it's like just shoveling food into my mouth. Like I haven't even finished chewing and digesting the first bite before I'm putting a second one in my mouth. Like I don't even think if whether or not I'm hungry. I just go to my next serving actually after I finish the first one. So after the first plate of food is done, then I'm like, okay, now on to the next one, and then just like I keep eating. Once you slow this down, like you significantly slow this down, once you realize that you're eating terribly, like if you take the time to go, how am I eating, and you just monitor yourself, you're gonna go, this actually might be a monstrous cause of this thing. And ever since I've made a change to not eat that way, I've noticed I've been able to get so much more full off of so much less, just slowing down the amount of time to eat, not just eating like a pig. And that made a huge difference. I personally didn't know I was doing this, but I had a lot of friends that I would always say, you guys are eating like birds. You guys are always eating like birds. It takes you like 20 minutes to finish that meal, and it took me like 2 minutes. How do you guys eat so slowly? And then I noticed these are like my thinnest friends. Like they're in pretty good shape and they're just always really thin. It's because they don't overeat. By shoveling all the food in your mouth, you don't give your stomach the time to realize, hey, I'm full, and then what winds up happening is you're overeating, and then you're gonna lay on the couch and go, oh my God, my stomach hurts too much. Take the time to realize that there's a huge chance you're being gluttonous and you're eating like a monster. So just try and slow that, especially if you're trying to reduce that belly fat. Take time in between bites, take time in between servings, slow it down. There'll be a lot of results from all of that nutritional stuff that I just mentioned right there. Now let's get into the exercising portion, because this is the most applicable and actionable set of steps that you guys can follow right now. Now, before we get into this, I need to make one thing very clear. There's not one single exercise that is going to target body fat. I don't care if it's a crunch, a sit-up, a Russian twist, a plank, or reverse crunch. No exercise has the ability for you guys to target where you're gonna lose fat. I'm sorry, I had to be the one to break it to you. But what is the best exercise routine that's gonna burn that body fat and fix the skinniness? What do we do first? The main question that guys are gonna ask is, yo, do I do muscle building workouts or do I do fat burning workouts? I say don't do either. Do both. Do them in combination. They're both effective at burning calories. A weightlifting session is gonna burn a ton of calories, especially if you're pushing to failure. So that 9th and that 10th rep is like, you can barely get the weight up, and on that 10th or 11th rep, you can only get a half rep. That's really pushing your body, and you're gonna burn a ton of calories from doing that. When you reduce your rest in between each one of these sets as well, and reduce it to about 30 to 45 seconds, you're really demanding a lot out of your cardiovascular system, and that's what's gonna allow you to burn a ton more calories as well, in conjunction with pushing to failure. As opposed to doing what most guys do, is just scrolling through their phone for 2 or 3 minutes between each set. You're gonna burn so many calories, and then in addition, you're breaking down the muscle tissue, you're eating cleaner, you're having a high protein diet as well. You're gonna be able to build a lot of muscle in addition to burning that body fat. So that's why I recommend the weightlifting primarily. And then in addition, cardiovascular activity that's gonna burn body fat. You're getting the best of both worlds. Now when it comes to cardiovascular activity, the exercise that is going to burn the calories, this is the main responsibility for cardio. I recommend you guys do high intensity interval training. All my subscribers, you guys know I'm always posting HIIT workouts. You're burning a ton of calories on them. That's one of the main benefits of it. Like you're burning a high amount of calories in a super short period of time. And number two, when you're doing these high intensity workouts, your body's gonna go into recovery phase for the next 24 to 48 hours after the workout. So when this recovery phase is happening, your body is replacing all the oxygen that it got into a deficit from because of the workout, because you're now for the next several hours, your body is just going to be trying to replace that oxygen and bring the body back to its homeostasis, original position before you got into the workout. And then in addition, it's also going to repair a lot of tissue, pump oxygenated blood through the system, and it's doing a lot of work. It's working a lot more than it normally does. So when you're out there sitting on your butt like 3 or 4 hours after your workout and you feel totally fine, under the hood, your body is doing a lot of work in order to recover itself and bring it back to, like I said, that homeostasis point. Meaning, your metabolism is actually boosted. You're gonna be burning more calories because your body is consuming more energy to repair the body and bring it back to that homeostasis point. So you started the workout, your metabolic rate was here, it's meaning your metabolism is the amount of calories you're burning throughout the day. Now after your workout, your metabolism is gonna get to about here, and it's gonna stay that way for, like I said, between 24 to 48 hours, which is extremely cool. So you burn a ton of calories during the workout, it's super short, and then you're burning a ton of calories after the workout. Compare this to a regular steady state aerobic type of workout where you're just on the treadmill going light for an hour. For one, it sucks. For two, it's a long time. Number three, it's not that physically demanding. So your body's not going to need to be in this huge state of recovery afterwards. So your metabolic rate is going to stay at about the same level. You're not going to be elevated, burning more calories when you're sitting on your butt or sleeping. It's just the way it goes. So that's why I always recommend high intensity interval training for burning the most amount of calories during a workout in that short period of time, and then post-workout as well. There you guys go. I was just firing off the hip right there with a ton of great ideas, actionable tips that you guys can apply right now. Like I gave you guys the master blueprint on how you can change from skinny fat to shredded or jacked or whatever you want to do. Follow those tips, apply those. You will notice significant change, I promise you. For all of you guys that are actually gonna apply these, let me know down in the comments section right now, and then tell me when you're gonna follow up, whether it be 4 to 6 weeks. I see every single comment, and I wanna see you in 4 to 6 weeks go, dude, I actually did these tips and they were pretty crazy. So there you guys go. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, be sure to give your boy a like down below, and also be sure to subscribe for weekly workout tips and nutrition tips that you will not wanna miss. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. See you in the next video.